hit the red button. I fixed it, but why did you do that? You did.
Yeah. Alrighty, y'all. Welcome to another live stream. How's everybody doing today? Situated here. Alright, we'll get started and we'll let everybody who wants to catch in, we'll catch in. So, we've got Hurricane Beryl, Tropical Storm Beryl, my bad. So, Tropical Storm Beryl, as it is approaching the Texas coast, it is expected to be a hurricane, re-strengthened into a hurricane. You see by the picture, it is very lopsided right now. Very lopsided, but we've got thunderstorm. We've got thunderstorm exploding thunderstorm development right now around the center of the storm. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that as well. We're starting to see colder cloud tops with storms exploding around the center right now. Latest hurricane recon hurricane data have found a 997 millibar pressure drop. So the storm is starting to strengthen right now as of looking at it. Go through water vapor imagery. You can see how lopsided this system is right now. Very lopsided right now. Not much to really call it strengthening right now, but it has dropped 2 millibars right now. So it was 999 at 60 mile per hour tropical storm, but this thing is starting to have exploding thunderstorm around the center, and that's what's going to start exploding the thunderstorm development. Now, I know most questions now are, what is the system going to do once it has and makes landfall into Texas? We still don't know the exact track of where her tropical storm, likely to be Hurricane Beryl, tracks, but it will some way of some sort will start to track somewhere like this in between Corpus Christi and Galveston. That's where I think landfall might be. I think southwestern Louisiana. Not out of the track to be a landfall situation, but I think right now my take it is leaning toward a Houston, Corpus Christi, Galveston landfall. In between some of those areas might see a landfalling hurricane heading into Texas, and now maybe impacting Arkansas as well in the coming days. We're gonna go over the satellite data. We're gonna go over the recon data. We are also gonna go over model data. See. Yes. Mom, live right now. Anyways, we do have that going on, and so we do have storms getting there around the center. Let's see if I can show y'all. We'll go over some model data right now. Let's go to model data right now. Also, I want to show y'all what the aircraft is finding in the storm too. So we'll go to aircraft data right now. Let's go to aircraft, and this is what I was talking about right here. This is what I was talking about, how the pressure was dropping as the system, as Hurricane Beryl was starting to, as that thunderstorm development exploding around the center of the storm. So this thing looks very lopsided as it was heading into around the system, and this thing looked very lopsided. Um, this thing looked very lopsided, and got to take a look at the data they're finding now. So we've had some pressure changes to the northwestern side of the storm. We've also found the northeastern part of the storm starting to gain a little bit of wind speed too. You can see they've earlier this morning around the 7 a.m. update, there was a 999 millibar pressure. So it went up 2 miles per hour. It's up to, not 2 miles per hour. It just went, the wind speed went up. That means your millibars went up. But now your millibars are going down because they flew into part of the system. They're still into the system, and they found a 997 pressure. Now, this thing might be a 60. We'll see what the latest update here is here in a minute, but we're starting to see a lower pressure drop now, which is not good, which we figured was going to happen. We just didn't know it was going to happen this morning, and it's going to start intensifying during the day, during the night, and all day tomorrow. Now we'll go here. We'll show y'all. These are current and past pressures right here, along where you see the plane is now. This is definitely a storm to be watching out on as well. And then we've had the Air Force, the NOAA 2 airplane. It has finished its trips around the storm too. It's your upper level plane, upper level model data thing. So now let's go to the current track of this hurricane. If I can find it here. Okay, so it's still Tropical Storm Beryl. Key messages from the National Hurricane Center website here. There is increasing risk of damaging hurricane force winds and life-threatening storm surge along portions of the lower and middle Texas coast late Sunday into Monday, where hurricane and storm surge watches are in effect. Tropical storm warning is now in effect for portions of deep South Texas. Additional warnings will likely be required later today. Interest in these areas should follow any advice given by local officials. So that's their first give and take there. So you can see the storm by the 10 a.m. update. We'll go to tropical storm force winds. This is tropical storm force wind speed probabilities here. You can see how it's likely expanding right up in this area here. You can see how far reaching this system is in southwestern Louisiana all the way up near Dallas, Texas. So gonna have to keep an eye on that as well. We'll go to peak storm surge here. Your storm surge, the storm surge inundation, we have Matagorda, Texas, about 3 to 5 feet to storm surge along the coast there. Corpus Christi Bay, about 3 to 5 feet as well. Toward Baffin Bay, all the way down to mouth of the Rio Grande, we're expecting a 2 to 4 feet sea level rise. And then as you head toward Galveston and High Island and St. Louis Pass, you're expected to see a 2 to 4 inch storm surge rise down there. So if you're along the Texas coast and you're visiting any family or vacation down there, just keep a watch on the forecast, because this might change. This is expected to change. This might increase. This might decrease. We just don't know yet. But you are expected to see storm surge all along the Texas coast. Even they might add even a little bit in southwestern Louisiana coast too. So let's see what happens in the latest forecast there. Rainfall potential down in this area. Now, rainfall is going to be a big time problem here. You see Dallas Fort Worth area seeing like at least 1 to 2 inches, because this thing is taking a further east track. So we've got most of Texas, most of central and eastern Texas, expecting about 4 to 8 inches of rainfall. So it's likely going to change over the next in the coming days. But Houston, 6 to 8 inches likely. And it's this area that I'm keeping an eye on. Once it makes landfall, change to a different color of drawing here. It's this area I'm keeping a really close eye on. Once it makes the landfall, where it makes landfall is where we're gonna see the heavier rainfall totals. Getting very concerned about the Texas Hill Country here. Is where the storm makes landfall and where we're gonna see the heaviest of the rainfall occur. So this whole map is gonna change, but you see how we'll go and look at the national. We'll look at the flooding outlooks now. You can see day one. So let's go to the WPC outlook. Yeah, we'll go there. Okay, so we'll go to the WPC and we'll look at what they're saying for excessive rainfall. So this is today rainfall. See, nothing. All of this is not interfered with Beryl down in the Gulf of Mexico. This is a marginal risk. We have a level 2 out of 5 risk for portions of North Carolina or Southern Virginia down to Georgia. This is not with Beryl. This is a little bitty cold front coming through, a little frontal passage coming through, and this is going to help Beryl turn its way to the north and then eventually to the east. So that's what's going to be driving Beryl to the north there. Let's go back and we'll go to day 2. Day 2 now. Day 2 is when that's tomorrow. This is when we will start to get into Beryl now. So we'll zoom in here if I can. Let's see if I can. Okay, so we'll zoom in here. You can see here we do have a marginal risk, a large marginal risk as well as a large slight risk for central and southern Kansas, northern Texas, and most of Oklahoma there. Now, we do have this area right here. Deep southwestern Louisiana down to South Texas, near all the way to Brownsville. We have this area right here. So you have your marginal risk, your level 1 out of 4. And then we do have the slight risk for Houston, Galveston, Corpus Christi, down to Brownsville. That is where your heaviest rain will start to begin itself across Texas, southwestern Louisiana. Local rainfall totals there about 2 to 4 inches in that day. So we're going to keep an eye on things. Going to keep an eye on it. Let's go to day 2 now. That was day 2. We'll go to day 3. Day 3 is when it gets serious now. We have a level 3 out of 4 on the scale here for rainfall. So you can see how a large portion of the south central U.S., all of this marginal risk area right here is with Beryl, except for this right here. This is just the leading edge of that ridge that is moving off to the east there in the Carolina and Georgia and Tennessee area. But it's this area we're going to have to keep an eye on for the potential for heavy rainfall on Monday. We do have a moderate risk out for the Texas Hill Country. That area I circled earlier that I'm very, very, very concerned about where this thing makes landfall. Big heavy rainfall threats coming to Texas as well. It depends on when this thing gets very inland, where this thing tracks. This thing, like, if it tracks farther west, your heaviest rainfall will be farther east. If this thing tracks east, your heavier rainfall will be further to the west. So it's going to be a give and take to see where the storm hits and where the heaviest rainfall will occur. Now we'll go to day 4. Day 4, you can see here, we do have a slight risk for Texas, East Central Texas, Eastern Texas, Central and Western Louisiana. Central, almost the whole state of Arkansas is going to be under some kind of flood threat for that day. And then we go to day 5. Day 5 is just a marginal risk, but marginal risk areas can be catastrophic too due to flooding and where this hurricane and where Beryl will track. So now that is your flooding outlooks for the next 5 days. This is likely going to subject to change, but we are very closely keeping an eye on the storm. Going back to recon data, just to load and see if we got any more data yet. No data yet from the hurricane hunters. But we will go to straight to the models now. Let's go straight to the model runs, and then we can answer some questions. Okay, we'll go down here. Okay, so we're gonna start with the GFS model. The US GFS model. Don't think it's done a really great job with this with Beryl, but you can see where it's trending it a little bit weaker now, because what we've seen this morning from Hurricane Beryl is a little weaker. But you see it has it a 991 category, approaching category 1 hurricane strength. And then you see how it intensifies it once, almost as it makes landfall into deep South Texas along the Texas coast at 979, approaching category 2 hurricane strength. So that's why this thing has a lot more time. This thing is slowing down. It has a lot more time to get itself together, get itself back together, and get back into hurricane strength. So that's that. Let's go back in time here. Let's go back. Let's go in the future here. See, this thing makes landfall, and now it's inland. Now what does it do once it makes inland? The US GFS model has very heavy rain across deep South Texas and moving it to the north and east. It has it, once it heads into Arkansas, it has it getting weaker as it heads into northeast Texas and southwest Arkansas. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this thing is going to re-strengthen. It's going to be strong enough to bring us some heavy rainfall. We'll go to the European model now. Well, I'll show you all rainfall outlooks here in a minute. So you have this right here. You have right there. You have approaching Texas. You have approaching the Texas coast. This is Monday, July 8th at 1 a.m. in the morning. Forecast at 1 a.m. A strong category 1 hurricane. And this thing has good agreement with the GFS model at 979, lower category 2 hurricane hitting the coast somewhere in Texas, either at Galveston, Houston, or Corpus Christi, or Port Aransas, we will see. But the European model has the storm. That's 6Z. Let's go back. That's the 6Z model run. You can see where this thing is, where the Europeans wanting to track it, northeast Texas and into a central Arkansas track. If you're here in Arkansas, keep an eye on it. We will have to keep an eye on it here in Arkansas as well. Now, there's your 0Z model run, 7 p.m. Wednesday. Pretty good on track with the National Hurricane Center track. Southwest Arkansas, central southwest Arkansas, I think, in my opinion, we'll see the heaviest rainfall. And then you can see European model by 1 a.m. Wednesday. Look at all that heavy rain that it will start to spread across the state of Arkansas. We'll show you all that here in a minute. And then the storm exits out of the area by late Wednesday and early Thursday, lingering rain showers in northeast Arkansas. Then let's go back. Go back right there. We'll go to the CMC model, your Canadian model now. Canadian model also, you can see Hurricane Beryl right here. It has it weaker right there as it's approaching the Texas coast. It has it a little weaker. I don't think this model has done a really good job on it as well. This one has it as lower in category 1 hurricane, bringing really heavy rainfall to the coast of Texas, as well far-ending impacts tornadoes to the South Texas coast into Houston. and this thing has it heading into Arkansas as a weaker tropical depression, still bringing heavy rainfall into our state. So that is your Canadian model. Let's go back to the GFS model, and we'll go to rainfall totals, total accumulated precipitation. So you can see, actually I want to show you on a different website. Okay, we'll go to pivotalweather.com. I think this thing has a good idea on the rainfall totals. We'll go to rainfall totals, and we'll go all the way up to at least Monday evening, Monday afternoon, mid evening. So we do have, okay, so we do have very heavy rainfall on Monday. Now we will start to see the impacts from Hurricane Beryl, at least rainfall, rain and thunderstorms start to come into our state probably Sunday nights. Sunday night coming into the state of Arkansas, and then we have the main event coming on Wednesday. But you can see here as where the track of the heaviest of the rainfall is across west central all the way down to south central Texas. That is this GFS model. It's one model run. Let me go back and let's show you the European model and show you all what this model run is showing. Better, this has more disagreements, and you can see where the heavy rainfall with the European model is showing. Okay, so you can see where the disagreement is. The GFS had it centered right here, and the European model has it further east and impacting most of the whole state of Arkansas in the heaviest rainfall from Beryl, which will be really good here in Arkansas because most of the state, the northern half of the state, is under a drought right now. So be really good relief for the state from heat and from the drought. But this is coming into a price too. This will bring tornado potential into the state of Arkansas too, because all tropical systems we know have a history of dumping a whole lot of rainfall, as well as tornado potential, as you all saw in Hurricane Laura as it hit Arkansas and it knocked all that power out too. So GFS model is just what it technically means. It's just the American model. It's like our own idea of the model. So that's what GFS stands for. It's just an American model. So it's just an American idea of what what model data will look like. We also, the European model does have it further north and east. We can see some indices, as I can put it right there, 12 inches of rainfall forecasting from the European model. Now this is not going to be right 100%, but it's giving you an idea of where the heaviest rainfall will fall. Now, let me show y'all the icon model. The icon model for days have been showing this for heavy rainfall and intensity track wise. So we'll go to the icon model if y'all wondering what that is too. It's just it's a medium range model, just giving you like a midweek kind of stuff. So icon model, you can see where the icon model has it approaching Texas around Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and has trended weaker, but you can see that's the 0Z. Here's the 6Z model run from the icon. Whoops. But you can see the trend. The trend is trending in our favor here in Arkansas for heavy rainfall from Beryl. So the icon did slow down its intensity on the rainfall when I saw it yesterday. But that doesn't mean to let your guard down from this hurricane, from the Hurricane Beryl, or when it is a Hurricane Beryl. Now I want to put some discrepancy on this too. I'm going down to Texas, and I'm gonna show y'all the NAM model. The NAM model is a little too aggressive on this system. I'll show y'all down in Texas real quick. Now I want to show. I want to be. I want y'all to be cautious of this, but the European model, here's Beryl right here. Beryl right here. Now the short range models are picking up on this. So here's Hurricane Beryl. Here's Victoria, Texas. We will start seeing outer bands from the storm tropical zone force winds coming in about Monday, 1 a.m. time frame. And then here's where your hurricane force winds start to arrive in portions of from Victoria. This has it landfalling from just to the north and east of Corpus Christi, Texas. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that as well. But still take on where does this thing get like landfall, and you can see all of that. You can see where Beryl is just pumping in a lot of rainfall here across Texas. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that as well. We're also gonna have to keep an eye on tornado potential with the supercells that will develop with the storms, with Hurricane Beryl too, because all tropical systems are really, really, they just bring tropical systems, bring tornadoes and huge rainfall amounts too. So, gotta keep an eye on that. Here is the supercells I'm talking to you about. We're gonna have to watch out for tornado potential in Texas, and then as it moves off into northeast Texas, it doesn't go off that far yet, but we will start to see tornado potential increase in Arkansas as well. Now we'll go to the regional NAM model here, and we'll go over that as well. And this is gonna not, I don't think it's gonna scare y'all, but there's that. So the 12Z NAM model from this morning is showing heavy rainfall starting to get into the southwestern portions of the state. Probably Wednesday night. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that as well, y'all. So let me see what the aircraft data showing. So they are continuing to see a drop in pressure now with Hurricane Beryl. Well, I mean with Tropical Storm Beryl, my bad. Tropical Storm Beryl. So I want to actually see. I didn't look at the latest cone, no. I want to see what the latest cone shows. Give me 1 second. There's forecast cone. Warnings and cone. Okay, so here's your cone, y'all. Here are the cones. So here's your latest update from the National Hurricane Center. I told you I would tell y'all the latest update. So now you can see the cone by 7 a.m. Thursday has it in northeast Arkansas there. And at 7 a.m. Wednesday now here in Arkansas. So this is now put the whole state of Arkansas in play for each way, whether it goes, which way it goes. It goes this way, it could go that way, it could also go that way. So you don't know which way in Arkansas it will go, but we know it's going to be a depression by 7 a.m. Tuesday. Also, tropical storm on 7 p.m. Monday, and then when it makes further inland, it will weaken. But a hurricane, still a hurricane as it approaches the Texas Gulf Coast. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on it. We have hurricane watches along the coast of Texas, and we also have tropical storm warnings now in effect for deep South Texas, including Brownsville and down into northeastern Mexico. I don't think Mexico is going to see a landfalling hurricane there. The models have been trending very northern, northwest track into Texas. So we're going to keep an eye on that. The National Hurricane Center. Also, I see someone is watching from Texas. So I'm gonna go back to the storm surge. Let me know where in Texas you're watching from. So this storm surge, we do have storm surge watches, and like I said earlier, storm surge watches in effect. So I'm gonna go back, and I'm really preaching about the storm surge. Listen to your local Dallas. So yeah, Dallas, Texas. Got to keep an eye on this too. Show y'all the cone again. So this, it has a slither right through Dallas. So it has it right there as a depression east of Dallas. But that doesn't mean if you're in Dallas, don't let your guard down with the system. This goes counterclockwise or clockwise. It's still going to bring you at least good enough heavy rainfall threat to Dallas. So still keep an eye on it. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Here's your rainfall if you're in Dallas. I'll take this map. 100% right now. This map is subject to change. So I see someone's watching from Dallas. We have Dallas on the lower end of the rainfall outlook right now. But if farther east you go from Dallas, I think it's the better chance for heavy rainfall. But Dallas has still got to keep an eye on it as well. So you have that storm surge up to 5 feet there in Matagorda, Corpus Christi Bay, down to Baffin Bay as well. 2 to 4 feet for Galveston, Houston area. And then we also have 2 to 4 feet down into the mouth of Rio Grande, down to northeastern Mexico. So there's that. And I also want to check the satellite again and see this thing is starting to see if it's getting its act together again. Go to the visible satellite. It does look like it's starting to get its very act together again, y'all. This looks like it's starting to intensify. Let's see what the radar omega if they updated it. So as a 10 a.m. update, still is a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm. So we're gonna have to see what this thing does, and it does have it at 85, so they have lowered down the wind speeds here a little bit on tropical storm Beryl. But regardless if it's a hurricane, tropical storm when it makes landfall, it's still gonna bring catastrophic impacts to Texas and the states north of that. So now we're gonna turn it to questions. We're gonna go to question time now. Any model data y'all want me to look at, we'll go over that right now. Canada. Okay, so we'll go to Canada. So I don't think Beryl is gonna impact Canada at all, but I mean, we'll go and see. I mean, Canada is pretty far north. I think it um, will be not even a tropical system once it gets in Canada. But I mean, there is some. Where are you watching from Canada? So just for I'll say from say I give a Victoria. Okay. Oh, okay. So you're way far northwest. So I don't Beryl where Beryl is going. It's not gonna impact you. But what I can say, I'll go to the models here and I'll show you what Victoria will be impacted with. Is heat, very hot temperatures in Victoria, Canada. Hey guys, Corpus Christi. Hello, y'all. Oops, let me do that. Okay, so we got Western Canada here. We'll go to temperatures real quick, and I'll go back to um, Hurricane Beryl here in a minute. So you can see, hold on, give me 1 second. National view. Okay, so we'll go national view. We will also go to a regional, the northwestern U.S. So Victoria's up here. We will start to see some heat, some very hot temperatures. I think you're right there in the mountains, so we have. So I think you're going to be in the cooler part of this system, or the cooler part of this heat wave that's in this northwest U.S. as well as in the southwestern U.S. too. So Canada, from Victoria, Canada, it looks like you're going to be a lot cooler than what Washington, Oregon, and down in California is going to be. Hello, Brian from Corpus Christi. Sorry if this is a long live stream, y'all. Just want to give y'all a really good update on this, because this is a very outspreading impact system right here. So just want y'all to be safe out there. If you're in the heat too, y'all be careful at the heat too, because the heat can really be bad too, as well. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water out there. Getting some kind of relief from the heat now with Beryl coming in, so some good news there. So I'm gonna go back to storm surge here. See somebody from Corpus Christi here. Brian, so you're from Corpus Christi. We've got some storm surge coming your way. So wherever it makes landfall, if it just makes landfall to your east, it will likely still bring some very concerning storm surge into Corpus Christi. Galveston, this whole area right up in here from Brownsville, Texas, up to Houston and Galveston. So that is just a very, so we do have that. So I'd say from Galveston down to Brownsville, we have to keep an eye on storm surge because your storm surge inundation will gradually increase probably tomorrow and Sunday. So well, it's tomorrow and Monday. So yeah. So all right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna head off here and give y'all another update around 1-2 o'clock this afternoon, and I will be posting updates on my channel. So make sure y'all send this live stream out to everybody you know around Texas and in the path of Hurricane Beryl, and and also listen to your local officials from the National Hurricane Center, your National Weather Service officials, and if you're along the coast in Corpus Christi, Galveston area, and they have ordered you to evacuate, listen to them as well because your life is more important than staying at your house and riding the storm out. So y'all just be safe out there. I'll catch y'all for another live stream later today. All right. Be safe, everybody. Y'all. Bye, y'all.